Hey guys, welcome back to Heiko Shaves. My name is Heiko and today we're finally getting to our Independence Day shave. So you might be wondering, oh, today is July 7th. What does he mean with Independence Day shave? So I had big plans for July 4th and wanted to do an Independence Day shave, you know, American flag t-shirt, American flag on the wall and all that. And I wanted to use a brand new razor introduced by Rex Supply Company, sold by Rasiert Emporium. And I had gotten in touch with Matt Pisarcik from Rasiert Emporium. He's a CEO, owner, I guess. If I could get one of those early so that I can do a review video with a Rex Supply page razor on July 4th as my Independence Day shave. And they tried their very best. They didn't get the actual production models into the store until July 2nd. And then they shipped one on July 3rd in the morning, overnighted this thing with UPS. So for me to get this into my hands on July 4th, so I could do the shave and the review and all that and post it the same day. That at least was the plan. That all fell through because UPS was telling me, oh yeah, you have a package coming. It's going to be delivered on July 4th. It got here today. So I just found the package outside. It's July 7th today. So unfortunately, they delivered 3 days late. And now I finally have it in my hand. So this is Rex Supply Company, the page. They offer this in two different colors. One is the natural silver color of aluminum. It's a 3-piece aluminum double-edged safety razor. Costs $75 currently on their webpage. They have it in aircraft aluminum and in jet black. And it's made out of 6061 aluminum. And lifetime warranty for lasting performance and peace of mind. And I got the black one. Very beautiful, well machined, nicely rounded here on the ends. I really like that. Like I said, it's a 3-piece and they say it's all aluminum, but I would disagree with that because there is a stainless steel insert here in the base plate. At least I think it's stainless steel. That kind of helps with alignment, and also the top end of the handle kind of interfaces it so you don't accidentally break off the aluminum threading here on the top cap. So when you put the handle in, it kind of gets held in place by that stainless steel insert. At least I think it's stainless. I could probably find out somehow. It's not listed on their webpage. I read all the description. Very nice. Base plate says Rex Supply on it, has a serial number on it, and it's made in the US of A. And then here the typical top cap. Yeah, what I really like about all the Rex razors that I have is that they round over the ends of the head here. So it's a radius. What that does is it covers up the blade tabs, so you don't feel the blade tabs, but it brings the outer edge here where the cutting edge of the blade is close to the edge of the cutting blade or the razor blade. And that makes it really easy to get into the hard to reach places. Very well done. Black anodized. Is this anodization? I'm not sure what the coating is. But yeah, they produce this more or less in-house. Machined in-house at Rasiert Emporium in Phoenix, Arizona. Anodized locally in Tempe. Is that Tempe? Probably also in Arizona. The page is our first double-edged safety razor crafted entirely from aluminum. And it has a blade gap of, it's listed here somewhere, 0.02 inches. And 0.02 inches in millimeters is 0.6 millimeters. I'm pretty certain off the top of my head. Inches to millimeters. Yeah, no, 0.5 millimeters. Sorry, my bad. 0.5 millimeter blade gap. They inserted a little magnet here at the bottom. So if, let's say you have a blade and it fell down and you don't want to grab it, you can just use that little, unless your blade is not magnetic. Oh, what? Oh, that's very unfortunate. Oh, what's going on here now? Huh? Are you kidding me? All right, now I have to... Now I have to take a Rex blade out. So in the package for the page, Rec Supply Page Safety Razor made in the US. It comes in this little tray. There's a Rec Supply Co. sticker and also a sample pack, 5 blades of their own razor blades. I already have a open package here, so we don't need to rip the new one open. It says made in the Czech Republic. So if I use this blade here today, it wouldn't be a entirely US made shave. So I might change my mind and switch to my Persona Super, which are made in the United States. But I want to see what this magnet, so advertised was that the magnet here at the bottom is supposed to be used to pick up a razor blade, but that doesn't, oh yeah, it does. But the surprising thing is that it only picks up certain blades. So here is a, what's this here? Persona Super. Oh, also picks it up. Okay. Just not very super strong, I guess. So if you unpack a blade, put it down on your countertop, and then you have a hard time picking it up without cutting your fingers, you can just use the end of your page handle and pick up the blade and then load it. So can we compromise on the US exclusively and just use the Rec Supply Co. made in the Czech Republic? I think we can. We probably should use their own blade. So typical 3-piece arrangement. They don't have alignment pins, but rather alignment tabs, as you can see. And then the base blade just goes on top of that. And then you just tighten it up once everything is aligned here. And yeah, that looks pretty good. Alignment, exposure, blades stick out is the same. Like I said, the blade gap is 0.02 inches or 0.5 millimeters. Good radius in the blade, as you can see here from the side. The blade tabs are covered. The outside edge of the head is pretty close to the cutting edge of the blade, so you can get into the difficult to reach areas. As I mentioned, my Rex Sentry has the same radius here on the end, and my console is not quite as pronounced rounded off. The top cap is, but the base here is a little different because of the adjustment mechanism. But they all kind of follow the same design language. The knurling here, of course, is completely different. There isn't any knurling. There are a couple flutes, so I would call this a fluted handle. But aluminum in itself is a little bit more slip resistant than polished stainless steel or chrome plated. So I don't think this is going to be a problem. Yeah, the magnet, I don't think this is a rare earth neodymium magnet. This is, yeah, a little on the weaker side. So the ones I have here on my mirror to hold my used blades in place, they suck those blades in. I can stack 10 blades on top of each other and it's still holding onto it. This is, yeah, a little on the weaker side. There are stainless steel parts that are, the technical term I think is hypereutectic. If a stainless steel is hypereutectic, it's not magnetic. But most lower grade stainless steels will still be magnetic because it is still steel. Everything that's called steel contains ferrous metals or ferrous material. So if there's iron in it, it will be magnetic to a certain extent. Yeah. So unless you get hypereutectic stainless steel, which is used for specific technical applications, probably used in watches, in mechanical watches, you probably would use, if there are any stainless steel parts in there, you want them to be non-magnetic because magnetism is not good for a mechanical watch. But most stainless steel, especially the type of stainless steel they use for cheap razor blades, is most likely still magnetic. All right, what else are we going to use? So since I wanted to make it an entirely, American birthday, July 4th, Independence Day shave, I wanted to use only American products. And since I am reviewing a Rec Supply Co. razor, I wanted to stick with mostly Razor Emporium or Rec Supply products. And so I picked my already once used Heritage soap here from Razor Emporium. I've reviewed this already once. I'm really absolutely in love with this scent. It's one of those really classic, clean linen, not too powdery, not too overpowering. It's just a lovely, lovely scented soap. And it's a product with a very short ingredient list, which is always a good thing because, you know, they don't put many chemicals in there. Very good. Some glycerin, some coconut oil. There's some shea butter in it and some fragrance. And very good. And then matching that, I have the Heritage aftershave and the balm. So we can use both. Here again, a sign of not really many ingredients. The fact that you can see the oily substances and the watery substances in this product kind of separating is an indication for the fact that they didn't put any emulsifiers in here. So in a oil water emulsion only happens if you add some extra chemicals to it, and they didn't do that, so there are no emulsifiers in it, and that's good. So you can just take the bottle and shake it up a little bit, then splash it on your hand, and then you get the full content of this bottle. And I prefer this over, you know, chemically emulsifying this. The Heritage Balm is really thick. This is really some very potent, very thick. There's witch hazel in it. There's a little bit of alcohol in it. Water, obviously. Sweet almond oil, avocado oil, jojoba oil, shea butter, wax, alum. So you guys always want me to use alum. It's already in here. That kind of sucks your little bleeders together. Germal, and then essential oils and fragrance. So really short and sweet ingredient list, and I really appreciate that they don't have you know, stuff in there that doesn't necessarily need to be in there. It's all made in the United States. Rasiert Emporium also has a pre-shave soap block, multiple different scents. I think they have unscented, mentholated, and another one, I forgot. They also have it in tube form, kind of like the PAA one that we have been using here. And I think I'm going to stick with this today because unfortunately I forgot to order the Rasiert Emporium version of it. Maybe let's switch it up a little bit. We're using the Ice Tube by PAA, but at least it's an American product. Together with the Rasiert Emporium soap, aftershave, and balm. And then I checked my brushes. I have a timeless brush that is made in the US, but that didn't fit my intentions. And so what I went for is the Ever Ready C40, which I added a synthetic knot. So I drilled this out and put a new knot into it with epoxy. So we're going to use this one. And let's get started with just putting on some pre-shave. I already washed and degreased my face, so we don't need to do the working it in, washing it off, and then reapplying it. So we're just going to apply some pre-shave. So I get my face wet. And then I'm going to grab this Ice Tube by PAA Epic Pre-Shave Soap. And it's like a deodorant stick, and you just rub it on. Highly, strongly mentholated, which is really nice. Cools your face. At least it feels like it's cooling your face. And then I usually rub it in a little bit. This almost lathers. You could probably shave with that if I really wanted to try that. But we're not going to. And then I'm going to grab my little ShaveNation.com soap scooper. And we're going right in here. As you can see, there's only one little dimple in there. So far, I've only used it once. And this lathers really well. This is a more or less vegan option. So there is no tallow in it. But it still lathers like crazy. So that's good. And it smells amazing. And that in combination with this mentholated pre-shave is going to be amazing. So my unbreakable little shave bowl here, and I've just squished it to the bottom. This almost has a consistency like Play-Doh. So it's very pliable, moldable. And I just stick it to the bottom. Then grab my little Ever Ready Restore It here. Dip it in my water. And then we can go right in here. The knot that I installed is a little on the softer side, so not much backbone, unfortunately. But this soap is so easy to lather. And I tell you guys, if you want a soap that's just, traditional barbershop, clean scent, clean linen, kind of, get the Heritage from Rasiert Emporium. And especially if you want a vegan option, if you don't want a tallow soap, this is amazing here, that stuff. And the balm, when I tried it the very first time, I was like, man, this is so great. It's almost a cream. So it's so thick, it doesn't want to come out of the bottle. But when it comes out of the bottle and you put that in your face, it's just so rich and pleasant on your skin. And then the scent matching between the aftershave and the soap is perfect. Obviously, the splash, so the aftershave, is a little bit more intense than the soap. This is really lightly scented, and then the splash has a little bit more oomph to it, if you know what I mean. All right, look at this creamy consistency here. This is great. We're gonna add a little bit more water here. I always have my little enamel steel emesis basin sitting here. Emesis is kind of like the puke container in a hospital, but I saw that in a antique store, and it's steel enameled, so it must be old. It's not a plastic emesis basin like they use these days. So I had to have it. I cleaned it multiple times, disinfected it, and now it serves as my fresh water container for lathering. So every time I want fresh water with no stubbles or lather in it, I dip into that. All right. So now look at this. Very creamy. I'm going to make a huge mess. I'm going to sling it all over the place, I'm sure. So we're going to scrape off a little bit here on the edge. And then we're going to go right into my face. And the combination of this scent with the menthol is just heavenly. It's just amazing. There is no burning sensation or anything. So all the ingredients that Rasiert Emporium puts into their small production batch soaps and aftershaves is just great. It's just, yeah. Almost forgot to mention, so they went through this whole trouble for me to, they got 4,000 razors delivered on July 2nd in the afternoon, unpacked them, and then July 3rd in the morning, packed one up just for me, for this annoying German guy. And then they put this little sample pack in here. It's every single one of their 1944, 1955, 66, 77, and 88. Now I have a sample of each, and we'll have to try this out. I don't know if we're just going to do a soap test without a shave and just sniff them, and I tell you what I think about it, or if I will use them individually. But I really, really appreciate what the guys over at Rec Supply or Rasiert Emporium, which, like I said before, this is kind of like their sister companies under the same ownership. Thank you guys over there. I really appreciate that you were trying to get this to me on time. If UPS would have cooperated, that would have been great. But no, we're doing our Independence Day shave 3 days late. And I have about 4 days of growth in my faith now, in my face, because I haven't shaved since. So on the 4th, it would have been a day, and now it's 4. And that's all UPS's fault. It's amazing. All right, lathered up. I think we're good. Let's make this all a little straighter down here. Very good. Fresh towel. We have a Czech Republic produced Rec Supply razor blade in here, or is it Rasiert Emporium? I always get this mixed up, those here. And it says where it's made on the back. All right. First pass with a beginner-friendly 0.5 millimeter blade gap. And yeah, it's shaving. So it's not a very bladey, not a very aggressive razor. It's meant to be, first of all, affordable for the fact that it is made in the United States. So Rec Supply has now entered into the more affordable market. Before they had the stainless steel, the Ambassador, the Consul, the Sentry. The Envoy I have not tried. That's the only razor that's still eluding my testing. But we have tried the Ambassador, the Consul I own, the Sentry I have. They actually gave that to me as a review sample, which I really appreciate. But with Rec Supply or Rasiert Emporium, money never exchanges hands, so my opinions are my own. And I will definitely tell you what I think about it. So let's think about this a little bit. Yeah, relatively tight blade gap, so there isn't much opening for the lather and the stubbles to go through. And since I have 4 days of growth, I would probably have used a little bit more aggressive, more bladey, more, efficient razor. But I'm pretty sure this little razor here will get the job done. And yeah, it's very unintimidating. It is very friendly. So there's going to be some stuff left, I'm pretty sure. I tend to do blade buffing anyway, so I'm shaving over the same spot multiple times. That's what we call blade buffing. Very good. So you can now do the rotating motion under your nose. To really get under it, or since they do this nice radius at the end, you can go sideways. And since the cutting edge is really close to the end of the razor head here, you can get really close to your nose. And the blade tabs, as I mentioned, are covered up, so you're not scratching your nose. And that is really good. So as I mentioned, 4 days is probably a little much for such a mild razor, which definitely falls on my scale to as number 1. Yeah, there's lots left here in my jawline, but that's to be expected with a milder razor. If I would have used the Sentry or the Console, which are steps above in aggression, or they can be, at least the Console can be adjusted, right? But yeah, we didn't have any clogging issues. There is lots of opening down here, so the lather can come through, and the stubbles that make it past the blade, they will come out here at the bottom. So pretty good, pretty good. So far, so good. What we didn't do is weigh the thing, and that's very important to some people. So let's put it on my calibrated scales here. Exactly 40 grams with a blade in it. So with one of their Rex Supply blades, it weighs 40 grams. With a magnet, little stainless steel insert. I really like that they have serial numbers on it, so you can literally tell which batch your razor came from. And I don't know, knowing Razor Emporium and their interest in vintage razors, they restore razors, right? They do replating of all kinds of Gillette. They have information about all the date coding on Gillette razors. I would assume that Razor Emporium or Rex Supply Company, they will keep very detailed records of their production runs, so that 40, 50 years from now, people can really say, okay, I bought this on July 3rd, 2025. Yeah. All right, let's lather up one more time. We might have to do 3 passes today. We'll see. We're definitely working on getting a clean result here. I was just talking to my sister on the video phone, the WhatsApps, and she told me, what's going on with you? Is your razor broken? So she was giving me a hard time that I look so stubbly. And so I guess we'll have to clean it up now. Wow, the scent is just amazing. If I would pick one soap, or if I could only take one soap to a deserted island, I think it would be a tough decision between Paraso Green, which is one of my absolute favorites, and this one. But hey, guys, look forward to some of the upcoming videos here in the near future. Bill has struck again. He sent me a bunch of Ariana and Evan soaps and aftershaves, so we'll have to review some stuff. But for now, this is definitely one of my favorites here. Very creamy, very nice scent. As you can hear, it shaves. It's not bladey at all. The first pass is always a little deceiving. So if you have a lot of stubble in your face and the blade has to cut off a lot of stubble, it feels a little bit more aggressive than it really is. And then once you're on your second pass, it feels much milder than before because suddenly there isn't that much to cut off anymore. Yeah. Yeah, first impressions are great. It is not slick at all. I'm not sliding around even though I have wet fingers. So there's really no knurling needed. I do, however, also feel that the coating on the top cap and on the close comb here is also a little slip resistant. So when you're going over your skin, it drags a little bit. And that is very common. So I've had multiple aluminum razors that are kind of coated the same way. Here is one from the Razor Company. Very similar in appearance and in color. And it has the same kind of non-slip, non-skid anodization. And even the Hansen AL13 is a little resistant to sliding. When you have a chrome-plated razor, that a lot of razors are, like here, for example, is the 34C Merkur. Chrome-plated, they are tend to be a little bit slicker on the skin and slide a little bit. Even if you have a very slick soap, you still get a little bit of the resistance from that dull finish. It's not a big deal. I just want to point this out. And as I told you guys, I am always going to tell you how I see it. So, and to commemorate this day properly, we're going to do a third pass. I haven't done third passes in a while due to ingrown hair issues. But I got to tell you, I think it has to do with not just how many passes you do, but also if you have a very efficient razor that cuts really close to the skin, and then you do 3 passes or too many passes, I should say, the likelihood of getting ingrown hair is much larger or higher. So if I would shave with a R41 right now, or my one of my favorites actually has become the Lupo 95 stainless steel open comb, which is pretty spicy, pretty bladey, but I keep shaving with it just because it's so quick. I do 2 passes and I'm like BBS pretty much. When you have a milder razor and you have a negative blade exposure, we haven't really even looked at this, but yeah, so if you create an imaginary line between the base plate and the top cap, if the blade sticks out past that line, it's a positive exposure. If it doesn't, it's either neutral or a negative blade exposure. And this razor is fairly mild. So with this one, we're not cutting so close to the skin, and I don't think we're going to run the risk of having major issues with ingrown hair. And this time, we're going against the grain. It's makes noise. You can hear if you're cutting something, right? So there's still some left. Yeah, my ingrown hair down here that has completely cleared up just because I changed my procedure a little bit. I use witch hazel a lot now, and I don't do 3 passes generally. Today we're doing that, but yeah, no problems anymore. If I remember that correctly, Matt Pisarcik from Razor Emporium, he is actually a big proponent of a single pass with a grain, you know, just to avoid ingrown hair kind of stuff. And if you have a more aggressive razor like the Rex Consul can be, or the Rex Sentry, you don't need as many passes. And from that perspective, his logic definitely pays off. So if you have a more efficient razor, you can get the shave done quicker with less passes and have a similar result. All right, let's do a after 3rd pass inspection here. Yeah, that's a good result. That's a good result. So 3 passes, even with this mild, friendly, gentle razor, you get a good, clean shave out of it. There's maybe one little stubble that I missed here. Right there. Yeah. The soap has good slickness. It feels good on the skin. I've absolutely not even the slightest bit of irritation, which I sometimes get from certain products. My skin is perfectly happy. We didn't nick ourselves. The blades, the Rex Supply Platinum razor blades, they seem to be sufficiently sharp enough. I don't think they are sharp as feather blade sharp. With the 4 days of growth in my face, I had a little bit of some tugging, which some sharper blades like my Persona blades, the super ones, comfort coating, whatever the comfort coating is, probably some PTFE Teflon, you know. And the feather blades and my Wilkinson sword blades usually don't give me any tugging. They just cut right through. So there is a teeny tiny little bit of tugging, but not bad at all. So they seem to be sufficiently sharp. The razor is really nice and friendly. And like I said, they got everything right. They have the blade tabs covered up. They have the cutting edge close to the end of the head. The handle has sufficient traction, even though there is no horizontal knurling on this thing. So more a fluted design, and it's tapered, right? Skinnier up here, thicker down there. Tall or thick enough that you can stand this up like this. So you don't necessarily need a razor stand for it. You can just rest it on here if you want to. The little stainless steel insert here to help the little thread not to break off. So all the bending forces on the handle are taken up by that little bushing. And anodization is beautiful. You know, like I said, there is a little bit more slip resistance because of that dull finish. If this would be shiny in some shape or form, some sort of coating, it would be a little slicker. And I really appreciate that this is made in the United States, serialized and everything. So really overall good product. And we got a good result. Now we're gonna rinse off. Tell you guys, the soap is great. The soap is so rich and creamy. Really hard to wash off. Very much residual slickness there. And this aftershave, it already has witch hazel in it. So we're just going to use this. It contains alcohol, so there's potentially going to be a little stinging going on if I have any kind of irritation. There's also some alum in here. So this is like the combination product. Witch hazel, alum, and alcohol. Very good. Oh, and the scent is great. Oh, very good. Very good. And I mean, if that doesn't match, you know, the background, the foreground, and the middle ground, Love it, love it. And the glycerin in there, you can feel that a little light oily substance left behind. Glycerin is really good for the skin, protects and lubricates and all that good stuff. And now we're gonna put more witch hazel, a little bit more alcohol, and all those oils. Almond, avocado, jojoba, shea butter, wax, a little bit more alum. And germall is a preservative that the stuff doesn't go rancid on you, I guess, with all those butters and oils in there. Lots of cosmetics use germall. That is way too much. Perfect. Let's scoop a little bit back in the bottle. Oh. Also perfect scent matching. Good stuff. Good stuff. So yeah, overall, what do I think about this razor? $75 for a US-made aluminum razor. I think it's right in the ballpark. There are some cheaper options. You know, some of the Razor Rock Canadian-made razors, they are in the $70, $80 range. Stainless steel sometimes. Timeless is a good competitor to this. Timeless is also made in the United States in Ohio. They are primarily a machining company. They didn't start out with razors. They added that to their product line, so to speak. And they also have a aluminum razor, kind of this one here. There is the aluminum solid bar, and then they have an aluminum slant razor as well, which I both own. Price-wise, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but let's just look at the competitive options or aluminum section here. Razor shop, the aluminums. The aluminum slant starts at $69, and the aluminum solid bar with a 0.45 millimeter blade gap starts at $64. So a little cheaper than the Razor Emporium or Rex Supply offering here, but not by much. We're talking $5-6 difference. And you know, feature-wise, you know, a little magnet to pick up your blade. The stainless steel bushing is really a great add-on, because if you would, like, let's find a typical 3-piece here. This is the King C Gillette. If you would make this razor out of aluminum and the only thing holding the handle on would be a aluminum threaded piece sticking out, the chances are that you would eventually break that off. Aluminum is just not that strong. Same with zinc alloys. You can break those threaded portions off. And I think Razor Emporium made the extra effort here to prevent that from happening by putting this little bushing in there and then machining the end of the handle just so that it fits right in there. Here we can probably demonstrate what that does without the thread. You just stick that in there. So there is a little bit of support, you know, so you're spreading the forces a little bit. So from that perspective, I think $75 made in the US aluminum razor. I think this is right in the ballpark. And if you like DE shaving and you want to add something new to your collection, or maybe this is going to be your only razor, I think this could serve a lot of people really well. Very beginner friendly, very gentle, and everything is covered up and protected. And it gives you the little magnet so you don't cut your fingers when you're picking up a razor blade. I think overall this is really good. All the products worked really well. Love this soap. I love this soap. I love this soap. And everything else. I did, however, use the PIA product here in the mix. Razor Emporium has their own pre-shave, you know, setup. If you want to try that out, I will put some links down below. By the way, this is not any affiliate deal. I didn't get any money for this review. This is all purchased with my own money. I spent way too much money on shipping because I wanted it next day on July 4th, but that unfortunately did not happen. So now 3 days late, but we did it. We tried out the page and we looked at an American flag in the background. And by the way, even the flag here, it's just a polyester flag, but it's made in the United States. All right. Yeah, happy belated Independence Day, guys. See you in the next one. Take care. Bye.